Hey everybody, this is Minion Soldier and this is Ship Updates. Now, first big piece of news right off the bat, the Zeon Scout is going on sale this weekend as an alien ship, part of like an X-Files association to the fact that there's going to be a Gillian Anderson interview up, which actually I believe is up right now at this time. And, you know, who is playing obviously a character in Squadron 42. So the Zeon Scout is going on sale. Now, these images here that you're seeing up on the screen are the newest images that have been released in regards to the Zeon Scout. The Zeon Scout, of course, is now in final gray boxing, and it is one of 4 ships that we can expect very, very, very soon. Now, whether that is hangar ready or possibly beyond hangar ready, I'm going to be conservative and say that it is just going to be hangar ready, but who knows. Some other details did, however, come out about the Zeon Scout today. Expect the shielding to become beefier. We also found out a while ago that the ship is probably going to be somewhere in and around 270 meters a second, and it is still a 2-seater. Now there've been conflicting information here and there. I mean, even the little model you have in your hangar, if you have it, says it's a single-seater. So it was really nice to kind of get that, that factual straight up confirmation that yes, it is still a 2-seater. I mean, along with these images, I mean, these images look amazing, and of course it's a ship that I own, and it's a ship that I'm very excited to share with you guys, and of course to fly hopefully very, very soon. Now, some other big pieces of news right off the bat. Caterpillar owners rejoice. Gurmuk is now working on your ship. So, it is moving forward. Now, there's also some other news related to the Zeon Scout. It is one of 4 ships that was specifically mentioned in today's Reverse the Verse, which was, by the way, the best Reverse the Verse that I've seen in a long time. The Saber, the Zeon Scout, the Starfarer, and the Reliant are ships that you can expect to see flyable or in your hangar very, very soon. Like, these are the next 4 ships. I'm excited. Obviously, as a Saber owner, the next step is flyable, so I am crazy excited to fly my Saber. I have high expectations in regards to that ship. And of course the Starfarer, there's going to be a lot of Starfarer owners that are going to be extremely happy about that. And I mean, we've known that the Starfarer is coming soon, and a lot of people have gotten excited, but one thing that people did not know and may not know is that if you own a Starfarer Gemini, but you're worried about not being able to see your Gemini in your hangar, Ben Lesnick said on today's Reverse the Verse that one way or another, they will make sure that whether you have a Starfarer base or a Starfarer Gemini, you will have a Starfarer in your hangar to explore when it is released. So they will make it so you will just kind of have a Starfarer base as a placeholder in your hangar so you can get into it, check it out. So Starfarer owners, both Gemini and base, rejoice. You are going to have a ship in your hangar very, very soon. Now the other news, of course, is the Reliant. But the Reliant, it's not exactly it's not a vessel I own. It's not a vessel that I'm particularly excited about, the base Reliant, but it is coming very, very soon. So those are 4 ships that you can very much look forward to seeing very, very soon. And I love the fact that things feel that they're very much accelerating. I mean, it's like it's snowballing now, and all kinds of stuff is just kind of coming out. I'm very, very excited. Now, also in the news is next week, we may indeed start seeing the sale for the basic Star Citizen HOTAS keyboard and mouse. So those SciTech peripherals may indeed be coming up for sale next week. It is not firm yet, but it is looking very likely according to Sandy Gardner. Now, also in relation to that HOTAS is the bigger HOTAS, the high-end HOTAS, the one that's based on the SciTech X65, is expect an announcement around E3 as to when that HOTAS would be coming. Now, we didn't really get any answers as to the Vanguard yet. I have a feeling that there's probably a lot of discussion going on relative to the Vanguard behind closed doors. Some people have been very vocal about their feelings towards the Vanguard, myself included. Some people have been very offended by that. But then again, it is feedback to the developers, which they ask for, which is why they put it out early, so that we can try it and see and give our opinions on it. And even though we like everybody at CIG, not everything is perfect right out of the box. And so bear that in mind, that when we criticize things, I mean, unless you see a post where it's just like, you guys are idiots, and rah, rah, but it's feedback, which is what CIG asks for when they put these things out. Also, there was some discussion related to game balancing in and around the topic of Super Cruise. Now, a lot of people have been putting up tactics and suggestions regarding tactics using Super Cruise in combat. Now, the thing about Super Cruise is if you're punching your speed up to 1,000+ meters a second, and you're thinking, well, it's good for boom and zoom tactics, right? It's perfect for that. It's great for boom and zoom tactics. The problem is that tactic isn't only limited to you. That tactic is also something that your prey can do. That's something that anybody can do. And once people start using it, everyone will start using it, and then they'll start abusing it. And how fun do you really think combat will be when everyone's doing 1,000+ meters a second, trying to snipe each other within a 1-second window? Not that fun. So there's probably going to be a discussion with Calix Renault on next week's Around the Verse regarding game balancing and Super Cruise. So that's something certain people might want to check out before they get a little too excited about Super Cruise. Now, we got another little tidbit of info. I mean, it's been more or less stated before, but it was firmly stated on RTV, and that is in regards to ship insurance. Now, let's say you bought a ship and it has 6 months worth of insurance. So let's say you bought it in December and you're worried, oh, my insurance runs out in June and then I'm screwed. No. What it is the insurance expires based on the time you play and not based on time in the real world. So your 6 months insurance, depending on how casual or how hardcore you are, you could use it up in years, or you could use it up in 6 months, depending on how much time you devote to playing Star Citizen. So insurance, not as big a deal as most people thought, though, however, never having to worry about insurance sure is handy. Now, what else did we get? They are going to be testing store credit unmelts next week. Apparently there's going to be some tokens handed out for people to test it, to see if they can use store credits to unmelt. It's just testing. It is something that they are working on. It is not finished yet, but it is going to happen. And lastly, there are some updates in regards to the Carrack and the Banu Merchant Wen. Now, 1 Squadron 42 is more or less in the can. The Merchantman and the Carrack are going to be going into production. So it looks like the Merchantman's been pushed back just a little bit, which is unfortunate. I mean, I've been a vocal proponent of the Merchantman getting finished, despite the fact that I don't even own one, just because, the Merchantman and specifically the Caterpillar have been sold so long ago, and yet really, I mean, that ball has just not moved down the field. And so unfortunately it seems like it's still a little slightly delayed, but the Caterpillar is moving, which is a good thing, and it is being worked on by Gurmuk currently. So Caterpillar owners rejoice. She's moving forward. Now, I'm not too sure about the Carrack. We really haven't gotten that much info on the Carrack since it was sold, and it has remained, more or less a very rarely discussed ship, much like the Orion. I guess the Reclaimer to a certain extent as well. Hopefully, these ships will be moving forward. I keep meaning to kind of dig in on the Reclaimer, but they were just handing out so much information on Reverse the Verse this week that it kind of skipped my mind. I mean, once they mentioned Zeon Scout, and I just, that threw half of my my brain out the window. So I mean, I am just so excited for that ship. Now also, kind of the last piece of information that we really got was that HUDs in the ships. Now you might have noticed, apart from the Van Duel ships, that the HUDs are pretty much generic and boring. So what's going to be happening with the HUDs is that's why Zeon is in the UK, is all the ship manufacturers are going to be getting more or less distinctive HUDs, and that the HUDs that you are seeing in your ship right now are more or less placeholders or works in progress, and they will not represent the final HUD that you will have once the game is, quote unquote, released. And I'm not sure if that also extends to like the voices of the HUDs, the Bitch and Betty sort of thing. That remains to be seen, so wait and see for that. But anyways, yeah, it was just an absolutely amazing episode of Reverse the Verse. And oh, one more thing, and I know everyone's so excited about this, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, so I'm hoping you found out somewhere else before you found out here. The work that Matt Sherman is doing on the 890 jump is not to bring the ship into the game. It's a technical stat revision, and the ship is not in production. So I realized that in around the verse, I mean, they said, Matt Sherman was doing a stat review on the he was working on the 890 jump, and everyone got super excited, and I mean, the forums just blew up with it, and I'm like, oh my god, the 890 jump. It is not. It is being worked on just in its stats and its representation to the community through those stats. The ship itself is not in production yet. I am very, very sorry to say. So if you own an 890 jump and you thought it was going into production, it's not. But I feel your pain. Trust me, just ask anybody who bought a Herald the first time around. We know all about starting production and stopping production, which, by the way, apparently is back in production again. You really can't make this stuff up. Anyways, great episode of Reverse the Verse. Amazing information. Just so much. And speaking of which, next week is the subscriber Reverse the Verse on Wednesday. And that will, once again, apparently feature Sean Tracy. So if you are ready for a deluge of technical information and Star Citizen history minutia, definitely tune into that. So anyways, that has been this week's show. Thanks for watching.